Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, I'm recording this roughly 72 hours into NoFap. I want you to pray hard for me that I succeed this time around. I recently met a distant cousin of Carrie Underwood, and I learned that when you go NoFap, it makes your body produce some sort of hormones, and so I hope it will work out with her this time. I'm still seeing the distant cousin of Eve Curry as well, but she's been really busy with career pivot. She works retail, but writes some novels in her spare time, and it's a perfect time for me to be doing NoFap for a couple of reasons. I had just replaced my car. I got a much more reliable car now. It's giving me a lot less stress. In times past, every time I've done NoFap, I tend to replace it with other unhealthy habits. But lately, I have some closure on some of the other bad habits, and so it's a good time to add the NoFap to my regimen. I usually have binge eating problems. Every time I go NoFap, it's like a replacement habit. But now that I have a reliable car, I have some good friends. I wouldn't say either of them are life partner kind of material, but I have some good friends. It forms a good foundation for me to be doing the NoFap again. Now today, Polish Idol season one winner Alicia Janazzi turns 40 years old, and I used to fantasize about her too much, even recently. Actually, lately I've been fantasizing about her way too much because I make it a rule even when I was fapping, I make it a rule to not fantasize about people that I have a connection with. And so I used to fap to people that I knew in person. Like I would go on a date with somebody, and then I would come back and then fap, looking at her picture. I feel guilty about doing that, but I make it a rule to no longer fantasize about people that I have a connection with. Now, for a while, I would do it with Mary Curry because I didn't feel like I had a personal connection to her. But then I recently started chatting with her granddaughter, if you can believe it, and it just has an ick factor. When I'm chatting with her granddaughter and then fantasizing, it just has an ick factor to it. And I also, believe it or not, I became really close Facebook friends with the second place winner of Polish Idol season one, Evelina Polenta. So I can't fantasize about her anymore. And as a result, all of my fantasies shifted toward Elisa Janazzi. She turns 40 years old today. So, as a gesture of respect, I begin my NoFap journey. Well, I already have a 3-day start anyway. And but time has really flown by. I distinctly remember the last few times I celebrated her birthday when the day she turned 25. I distinctly remember that day. I had just gotten out of a really toxic relationship, and I didn't have anybody, and that was a scary time in my life. Now I also remember the day she turned 30. I used it as a celebration to make a move on a cousin of hers, a distant cousin of hers, and didn't go anywhere. But you know what? I actually still talk to her from time to time. I also remember the day she turned 35 because that was the day that Seattle, Washington was going to reopen to 25% capacity. And I remember thinking that I'm going to go out to celebrate and meet somebody just like her. I was writing an AI for the game of backgammon at the time. And that day was actually, I had my first somewhat playable version of the AI. It wasn't very well at the time, obviously. Just how fast time has flown by. All right, 72 hours. I hope to go at least a month this time around. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.